Master pages are a really important piece of InDesign. So what master pages are, we find them in the Pages panel. And so master pages are templates that you create for a page layout. It helps to keep the layout consistent. It spares you repetitive work. And I'm able to put objects or items on this master page where I'm circling right now. I'm able to have multiple master pages per document, but then what I can do is apply this master page to any page in my document. So it does save a lot of time. I can create the layout once up here in the master page and then apply it to whatever pages I want. So in the Pages panel here, I do have the ability to create new master pages, new master, and I have some options here that we can do. I'm just going to use the default. Notice that there's a number of pages is 2. Click OK. By default, we'll get a name of A master, B master, C master. So InDesign will just name them alphabetically as we go, and I can change that name also. Okay, so I can add, I can delete them, I can apply master pages to specific pages. Here's my delete, here's my apply. A faster way is simply to click and drag. If I drag over top, I get a darkened outline, and now it says B. It's very small, but it says B, and if I let my tooltip pop up, B master applied. All right, I don't have anything on my masters right now, but you can at least get an understanding of what you're looking at. So when I'm on a master page, let's just click on this page. I'm going to double click. Now I need to make sure that I'm on this master. It becomes highlighted. The B master name gets highlighted, and at the very bottom left corner, it tells me what page I'm on, and it does say B master. So it's important to know exactly what page you are on. Now if I create boxes out here, I can create any of my frames. Okay, so I'll create a frame. I can create a text box out here as well, and if I put text actually in this text box, let's just do a large number B, because this is master B. So I want this B to be very large. We'll go, let's go even higher than this. Let's go 200 for my point size, so you can see that. I'll center it. So now I have a B, and these are called items. So they're master items. So whether it be a box, a container that I have here, which let's go ahead and just put a color on there. We can put a stroke. Let's see. Let's go back to color. Let's put a green. Oops, and I put it on the stroke. Let's put a green fill, something that you can see. So here are 2 items. These would be considered a graphics frame or a text frame, but while it's sitting in the master's page, this is actually considered a master item. So master items function pretty much as placeholders. Typically you're not going to type your text in here unless it's something that you want applied to multiple pages. We'll get into showing how to add automatic page numbering, things like that. That would be a benefit. Okay, so just to show you, if I make some more pages, oops, I'm in the master page. Let's go down here. Let's make some more pages here. You can see that these are now pages that B has been applied to. Got quite a few masters up here. Let's apply A to this. I see an A, and I don't see those items anymore because it's only part of the B master. Okay, so typically you would just have arrangements where you would have boxes and containers ready for content. Let's talk about guides just quickly here. So guides are vertical or horizontal lines that are positioned on the page, and I am able to create them manually by pulling them out of either my horizontal ruler or my vertical ruler. Okay, so I can see them, I can align things to them. Note if I wanted them to go across this entire spread, let's go down to a cleaner layout here. If I wanted to go across this entire spread, you know, if I drag on one side, it only goes on one. If I drag on the other, because these are 2 different pages. Now if I hold down my control or my command key, I'm able to drag them across both spreads. That is very helpful, especially from left-hand page to right-hand page. You want some things aligned. I also can create them, have InDesign do them for me. And let me apply, we're going to get this both to be actually none. I'll show you what none looks like. So with none of a master page applied, I don't get any little number in the corner, it's just blank. So if I am on this page here, because my guides aren't locked, I can relocate them. But I also have this way that instead of manually pulling them down, I can have InDesign create them for me. Under my layout menu, I'm going to look for Create Guides right here. And what Create Guides will allow me to do is create guides. How many guides do I want? Do I want to fit guides to the margins, to the page? I can preview this. So let's do a number. Can you see them? So here they are, and I can do columns, I can do rows, I can increase this gutter here, so that I can easily align things, and I can snap things to this guide if I'd like. So guides can be selected, they can be moved, they can be deleted, and you can change the color of them. Now, changing the color of the guides, the margins, and the columns, all of these things I've got going on here. If you're working in a document and it's just hard to see those colors, I can change them. So if I select this guide, and you see when I select it, it darkens actually. So while it's selected, I do have some options here in my control bar, but I'm going to go under Layout, and I'm going to go to Ruler Guides, and here is where I can change it. So by default, it's cyan. I can change them to magenta. Click OK. Now that selected guide, I deselect it, and now it is magenta. Okay, so I can change the color, but note that's only going to affect those selected guides. If I wanted to modify all of my guide colors, more of a universal change, I would go under my Edit menu, navigate to Preferences, and find Guides and Pasteboard. So under the Guides and Pasteboard, I'm able to modify the default color of my margins, of my columns, whatever it is that I'd like. Again, if you'd like to do this universally and change it to be the default, you would need to change these things, but bring this preference dialog box open when you don't have a document open. So if I were to close this document, let's cancel this, close this document, I won't save this one. Now with nothing open, now I navigate to Preferences, and I go to Guides and Pasteboard, and here if I now change these to a different color, this will be remembered and become my default color for these guides, margins, whatever it may be, when I open all of my new documents. So that's more of a universal way to change.